Hello, and welcome to Heartland's Online Church. My name is Brian, and I'll be your host today. Now, this service is a little different than what we normally do on a Sunday. Typically, I am broadcasting from the Weymouth campus, and we usually kick over into the worship center for one of our live in-person services. Today, it's going to be a little different. Our worship experience for everyone is going to be an online-only experience. And this is something that we just thought we would give it a try. This past year has been a very interesting year, to say the least. But one of the things that we have learned, that we have seen, is that God is able to use technology to bring us closer together. And so today, that's what we're doing. Everyone that is engaging with our worship service today is doing so digitally. And next week, we'll be back in person, and we'll continue in-person services moving forward. But we just want to try to test something out and do something a little different just to kind of end the year. Now also, if this is your first time engaging with Heartland, thank you. At some point throughout the day as you're worshiping, I would ask that you would reach out to us. So if you text the word Medina to the number 97,000, that'll get you in contact with one of our staff members. We would love just to connect with you and to reach out during the week. So now, here comes the all online service, and stay tuned at the end. I'll be back to wrap things up.
Take it all down. Christmas is over, but do not despair, but rather be glad. We had a good year. Now let's have another, remembering all the good times that we had. Oh, no more lights glistening, no more carols to sing, but Christmas, it makes way for spring. Though hearts of men are bitter in weather as cold as the snow that falls from above, but just for one day we all came together. We showed the whole world that we know how to love. Oh, no more lights glistening, no more carols to sing, but Christmas, it makes way for spring. Oh, no more lights glistening, no more carols to sing, but Christmas, it makes way for spring.
Take it all down. Christmas is over. I can't believe it's over, man.
Are you okay?
This crazy year, and it just goes out with a whimper, just like that.
You're in here singing to yourself in front of a Christmas tree with paper everywhere. Like, what's going on?
I mean, can you blame me? We're going back to work in a few days. We're already halfway taking down these decorations. I go out to walk the dog, and people are frowning. All that Christmas cheer that was there just like 4 days ago is gone.
True.
It's over, man.
No, it's not over. Christmas is just beginning. It's just the beginning. It's not over. What's your problem?
It feels pretty over to me.
You are so depressed. Christmas isn't over. The presents might be over, the trees might be getting put away, but the meaning of Christmas, the reason of Christmas is just beginning, man.
The meaning of Christmas.
Yes, it's just starting.
It's just starting.
I cannot wait to tell you about this, Drew. But you know what? You know what you need?
What do I need?
You need a cup of coffee.
You know what I need.
And you know what I need? A cup of hot cocoa. Come on, Drew.
All right, you're right.
Come on,
That
let's
is
go.
what I need.
And then let's go get some coffee, some cocoa, and then I'm explain this all to you. It's gonna
All
be
right,
great.
all right.
You gotta stop being so depressed, Drew.
Arise, my soul,
for your glory. All of this 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 for your glory. No longer I who live, now Jesus lives in me. For I was dead in sin, but I woke up to see the light.
Drew, I can't wait to read this to you. I grabbed my Bible. Let me put my mug down.
Okay.
Gospel of John. Now, you got to listen to this.
All right.
Chapter 1, verse 9. The true light that gives light to everyone was coming into the world. He was in the world, and though the world was made through him, the world did not recognize him. He came to that which was his own, but his own did not receive him. Now listen to this, verse 12. Yet to all who did receive him, to those who believed in his name, he gave the right to become children of God. Children born not of natural descent, nor of human decision, or of a husband's will, but born of God. The Word became flesh and made his dwelling among us. This is the best part, Drew. Listen. We have seen his glory, the glory of the one and only Son who came from the Father, full of grace and truth. That's what Christmas is all about. That's why Christmas is just beginning.
I've heard this before. The Word became flesh and dwelt among us. It's the incarnation. God came to be with us, blah, blah, blah. I've heard that before.
Yeah, it's the incarnation. God came to us, baby Jesus, born in a manger and all that, but God's still coming to us. He's still coming to us. He's coming to us in the everyday, ordinary moments of our life.
I hear you. I've seen baby Jesus in the manger. I get that. God's still coming to us. What are you talking about?
Here's what I'm talking about. God comes to us disguised as our own life. Every single day, in those little moments of our life. What are you doing?
What do you got in that cup?
It's just cocoa. Relax.
God comes to us disguised as our own life.
Yeah, as our own life, in those little everyday moments of our life. You know, a lot of people look for God in church and in all the sacred things and
where
all
we
that.
work.
We're right, but God comes to us in much more places than that. He comes to us in those everyday moments of our life.
Like
okay, let me give you an example.
Okay.
So you probably have to go back and exchange a present or two. You're
Yeah.
gonna stand in line at this
Uncle Dan.
Okay, for Uncle Dan, you're gonna stand at Kohl's or wherever, waiting to exchange. Somebody's gonna cut in front of you in line.
they do
Here's
that.
a moment.
Okay.
Here's a moment.
Yeah.
Standing there in line, you have an opportunity to see God coming at you in this moment in your life, and maybe show kindness, maybe show
okay.
patience to that person.
You sound like a great pastor and all, but sometimes I think someone cutting you in line is just someone cutting you in line.
Okay, well, maybe it is. Then what's your understanding of how Christmas continues, what this season is all
You're
about?
supposed to be helping me, so what? Okay, make me do all the work. God comes to me disguised as my own life.
That's what I'm saying.
All right, I can remember some times where my emotions, I guess, you know, just like a deep joy or a sadness that strikes me out of nowhere, or some little thing that happens and I get really upset.
Right.
And I start to think, oh, well, these emotions were given to me by God, I guess, and maybe they're revealing something he's trying to show me.
Keep going, now you're on it.
Okay, all right. I was talking about the walking the dogs earlier. I'll give you this one. Okay, I'll give you this one. Sometimes I take Jackson for a walk. You know, he's a rescue dog. He's cautious, he's scared, he's timid. And I've got plans to prosper Jackson. You know, I'm gonna take him on a good walk. But Jackson's pulling to get back home. Sometimes he literally stops and refuses to keep going, even though I'm gonna take him somewhere good. And I remember a couple times where I thought to myself, I mean, maybe that's kind of, even though this is a dog teaching me this, like maybe that's kind of how it is with God sometimes. He's always been good. He's always been faithful to me. even in seasons when it's hard to remember that. And then all of a sudden, here I am saying, no, I'm not going to go any further. I want to go back this way where I've come. Maybe he's looking just like I do at Jackson.
Yeah, I remember some times when our boys were younger, and I remember I wanted to give them good things. I wanted to, like you're saying, take them on walks, not like you do a dog, but you get my idea here, right? And spend time with the boys, and I was trying to like control their lives and made sure they experienced all these good things. Now my boys are grown up. I can't do anything to control them.
Probably miss taking them on the walks.
I do in some ways, but the point is, like, I still see God in them. I still see God in those ordinary moments now that they are grown up, and how God's working in their lives every day.
Here's what you're saying. You're saying, okay, Christmas might be over. We might be taking down the decorations, but God is still moving in our lives. I just need to pay attention.
Yeah, the incarnation, right? That's what this is all about. It's what I just read to you. It's God coming to be with us, and he's still with us, God with us every single day. But we have to pay attention. We have to look for him. That's what this is all about.
Shine brighter in us, so we meant you.
okay, I think I get it now. If God is with us, Jesus is with us every single day of the year, we just need to start paying attention.
Yeah, we have to be on the lookout because you can't see what you don't look for. Like, think back into what I was just reading you about the story when Jesus first came, the shepherds, right? They saw the angels and the light and they pursued it, right? And Mary saw what God was doing in her life. Joseph saw the dream, right?
Yeah.
Where God came to him and said, you're going to be Jesus' dad. I mean, this was in the ordinary moments of their lives, in the mess of it all.
Yeah, I think, okay, I'm warming up to this a little bit. This reminds me of a time, really messy time in my life. I just graduated college. I was coming here to Heartland to actually do an internship. You remember?
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know anyone here. I'm living in a family's home that I've never met in their spare bedroom. And the night before the internship's supposed to start, I'm going to go meet people I've never met before. Just crippling fear. It's just messy. All this transition, all this change. I felt so out of control. And in that mess, I kind of realized I had no way of handling it other than to give control to God and rely on Him. And I remember that night vividly, this sense of peace coming over me that wasn't from me, but was God in the midst of the mess. And it was, it's the lesson I should have learned in Bible school. I should have known, but it's that life is better when I don't try to control, but when I'm paying attention for what God is doing in the mess even.
But they don't teach you all that in Bible school or seminary,
No, they
do
just
they?
teach me about the incarnation.
That's right.
As thrilled as I am about that. I guess I should be thrilled about
Yeah,
it.
because this is how it lives out. This
Yeah.
this is what I'm working with families, and they'll come to me like trying to blend two families together, and they've both been divorced, and they're struggling through the situation, and they're frustrated and over it. And I say, listen, look for God in those moments. Look for those opportunities, right? To meet God, to experience Him, even in that mess of life. And I've experienced that personally. I sometimes I miss it, but that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for those opportunities. And I got to say this, man, like I'm clinging to the hope that Christmas isn't over. I'm clinging to the hope that
Amen
the
to that.
incarnation is more important to me today than it was even a few days ago, and I'm gonna trust God with that.
So I guess before, I was looking at the wrong things. I'm looking at wrapping paper that's been torn, gifts that I gotta return, pies that have already been eaten, instead of looking at the real source of hope that I can discover Jesus, experience Him every day in my ordinary life.
Yeah, He comes to you disguised as your life. You got it. I'm proud of you.
I just need to pay attention.
We all need to pay
All
more
right,
attention.
you've made me feel a little bit better this morning.
Way to go, Drew.
See His heart, it is on display. The Father spoke and our world was made. A gift we can't explain. Of all the things that we could choose to see, we'll behold your love's majesty. We will set our eyes, our hearts, and our minds on your love for us. We will set our eyes, our hearts, and our minds on your love for us. He sends His Spirit and shares His power. Build His kingdom, He calls it ours. It's here and now. Of all the people we could choose to be, we'll allow your love to set us free. We will set our eyes, our hearts, and our minds on your love. sees my struggles, he meets my shame, and he takes it away. Sing it again. There's a Savior, he knows my name, sees my struggles, he meets my shame, and he takes it away. We will set our eyes, our hearts, and our minds on your love for us. We will set our eyes, our hearts, and our minds on your love for us. We will set our eyes, our hearts, and our minds on your love for us. We will set our eyes, our hearts, and our minds on your love for us.
All right, well, thank you. Thank you for participating in an entirely online worship experience. Now, I hope that, like Drew, if you were experiencing kind of the downer of Christmas being over, that maybe this service and this morning is a time for you to begin experiencing Jesus in the ordinary. And you know what? We put together a tool that I think might help you with that. So starting today, we have developed on our Heartland mobile app a kind of a devotional that's going to release every single day for the next 12 days. So we're calling this Experiencing Jesus in the Ordinary. So if you do not have our app, or if you didn't even know that we had a mobile app, hey, we have a mobile app. So go to any app store, whether it's your Apple store or Android store, and look up Heartland Medina. That will get you connected to the app. Install it, log in, and then every single day, starting today, you will get a brand new notification over the next 12 days to just help, some of us kind of break out of the slump of post-Christmas and really come together and focus our attention on Jesus. And so one last thing before we wrap up this entirely online service is I want to remind everybody about the Christmas Eve offering that we had this year. The offering was set up and is set up to continue to support the recovery community here in Medina. Now, we've partnered with some great organizations, specifically with Hope Recovery House and with Kathy's House. We had a great time kind of ramping up, and Christmas Eve was a huge success. We even had an anonymous donor give a matching gift, and so we've seen God move in big ways. But it's still not too late for you to get involved with that. So if you would go online to hcc.events, today is your last chance to give to this amazing cause. We have seen over the last couple of years, just working with these organizations, how God really does show up and help and just change people's lives. So if you want to partner with that and really have a chance to bring change to this community, I would highly recommend that you would consider giving to this. So at this point, I'm going to go inside because it is freezing out here, but I do hope that you enjoyed this all online worship experience. And we're going to do this again a couple times throughout the year as we ramp up and kind of figure out, hey, what does it look like to launch an online campus? And you can help us with that. So we are going to post a link in the chat. We're also going to have it on the screen here. It's just a quick survey just to get some feedback, because we can put a lot of work and effort into something like this, but ultimately we would love your help. So if you do have a chance, check out the survey, fill it out and connect with us. And then again, we'll be back in person next week. I'm